name is Sabryn Aguilar, and my dad is a crybaby. I know that the term crybaby has a very negative connotation, but I genuinely mean it in a loving way. I love my dad to the moon and back 1,000,000 times, and I owe him so much in my life. But there's one thing that I feel he couldn't have taught me, because I've had it ever since I can remember, and that is my ambition. I am ambitious because ever since I was small, I have always wanted to do the most difficult task available to me, and I have always succeeded and excelled in anything that I started. Recently, my dad and I got into a very emotional conversation, and he did cry a lot, and I cried too. But in this conversation, he reminded me of 3 examples of my ambition from my lifetime, and I decided that I would share these with all of you today. The first one is from when I was just 3 years old. That year, Disney sent my family a VHS tape promoting their parks in Florida. I watched this video once, and I was obsessed with going to Disney World. It was my dream at the time, and I was determined to get there. I didn't care how long it took, but I was going to go. So I made up a plan, which was to watch that video every day until they took me. One day, my dad came home and called a family meeting. When we were all gathered around the table, he told us, simply, I did it. As you can imagine, me, my sister, and my mom were all very confused. When my mom asked what he meant, he said that he booked us a trip to Disney World. It was the first big trip that my family would ever take, and it was because of me, this little 3-year-old girl that was determined to go to Disney World. I don't really remember the trip, but we do have a video of it, and every time we watch it, my dad cries. It's pretty sad that I don't remember it, but I do remember my next story very, very, very well. I was in elementary school, and I wanted to be in the Gifted and Talented program. And I was always confused about why I wasn't in it, because I knew that I was smart enough. And it wasn't until when I was in junior high, when I brought up the IB program to my dad, that he told me the reason why I wasn't in it. My elementary school had asked my dad if I wanted to be in the program, and he had told them that I was uninterested because he didn't understand what it was, he thought it would be too much work for me, and that's why I wasn't in it. I was pretty furious when he told me this. And when he saw how upset I was, he cried, because he realized that he had stopped me from doing something that I really wanted to do, something that I thought was like a first step into maximizing my potential. And that brings me back to the IB program. The IB program was offered by my high school. Whenever I first found out about it, I immediately wanted to be part of it. I convinced my dad to take me to a meeting for the IB program, and afterward he asked me if I really wanted to be part of the program, and I said yes. I know that it looks like a lot of work, and that there's so many hours of creativity, action, and service that I have to do, but I'm determined to get this diploma because I want to. And so he said, okay. Now, 3 years later, an extensive list of essays and exams later, and who knows how many CAS hours I completed, I got that diploma. There were about 20 students from my class that were in the IB program, and less than half of us actually got the diploma. And I'm proud to say that I was one of them. From going to Disney World to graduating with my IB diploma, I have always had these big goals that most people would find too hard to accomplish or too much work to try, but I've always pushed myself through because I have ambition. I am ambitious and I love my dad. My dad is the biggest crybaby that you will ever get to meet. And he has cried so many tears because of me. But those tears were never and will never be tears of disappointment or sadness, because he knows that I am determined to succeed. And he and I both know that I will do anything that I put my mind to.